What's up, Giggity Gamers? We're back at it with another Broken Arrow match review on the new patch with Special Forces Armored. No big old yap session in this one. Sorry, guys. I've messed up my recording and I didn't realize until this point that I had multiple audio things running through the same track, so it's pretty much all unusable the whole time before this. But you know, we're playing on Highway of Death, which is cool. Running my AMPV deck, which I showed off in the last match review. It's had to have a little bit of changes due to the patches, to the patch changes. We've got, we've lost the Guardian, my dear Guardian, but we've got some other cool stuff to use, which is actually pretty good. This match is a lot more intense than the last one, and we can kind of get a way better idea of how this actual deck works when you're actually in the field. And as you can probably see, I've been playing quite a bit. I've jumped quite high in elo from what I used to be. The new patch be cooking for sure. Definitely having a lot more fun. I will say that, and I'm sure if any of you are playing or have played Broken Arrow, you got to jump right into it because it's so much better. Just everything is just so much better under the new patch. Like it's unbelievable. Of course, there's still things that need to be fixed and things that need to be addressed still, but just the fact that you can hit surrender and you aren't loading into a game with someone down makes a crazy difference. But anyway, we'll get on to the match review. So going into this match, if I can, I'll pop up a little image on the screen kind of showing what my plan was going into it, because I haven't actually played on Highway of Death before, and this AMPV deck requires like very specific terrain, which I think I brought up in the last match review. So I pretty much only had one lane where I could go, which was A. And honestly, when I actually picked this map, I thought it was a different one, that other highway one, which I can't remember the name of, and if I remember it, I'll put it on the screen. But so my whole plan going into this was to pretty much turbo rush A and then try and put a ton of pressure on it to just pretty much spend the whole game flipping it with my opponent, which turns out quite well. There's not many good locations towards A where we can kind of build a nice supply dump, and unfortunately the opponent takes advantage of that when kind of attacking some of my stuff. But yeah, it also look new. It's so bizarre seeing new playing icons. It's kind of weird, and I like it a lot more because it was quite difficult figuring out what was what at times. So going with the standard rollout, we've got the Cav Scout, Sniper, and the ARMSOF. Pretty much just like turbo yeeting the ARMSOF onto A to hopefully capture it. Just from the speed it takes, from the speed that the AMPVs travel, you're just not going to have enough time to actually get onto the point. So getting that ARMSOF onto there and like capturing it, capturing the location is so important. Particularly like if you get the ARMSOF and you can even just hold it before your reinforcements arrive, it does so well. And if you were wondering if this deck still has relevance under the new patch, it definitely does. In this match, we pretty much go against the old meta coastal motor. Yeah, coastal motor. And it does wonders. But we deal with a little bit of tanks here and there when a couple of people cycle into the lane, but it just works. And when everything's all syncing together and you got the smoke going, you're pulling stuff back, it's quite good. I've had to make a couple of changes because, as I said before, we have lost the Guardian, we have lost the Patriot. Not many things have changed. We do have DAPs now, which I'm kind of running as dedicated anti-heli units, which have done really, really well, surprising. And if I can, I'll put up a little blip on the screen of them like absolutely smacking up a Viper in another game I had. But yeah, got some DAPs, a couple more killer eggs. We've got, of course, a pack free, because you kind of need to, if you have access to a pack, you should definitely bring it just to assist for teammates. Thankfully, in this game, my teammates are quite well organized, and they provide me the opportunity to just kind of focus on putting all my effort into mid and dealing with all that type of stuff. But a little bit of a misplay coming up when it comes to the placement of that Sniper. I was hoping to kind of peek him in a way to be able to look over that rock there and get a good view onto the objective to the left, but he gets kind of spotted quite early on. And I think what I was trying to do might still work. It's just probably would be better if he didn't get spotted by some recon unit, which I think is the issue. So we've got the AMPVs charging up front, tons of little motorboxes dropping off dudes doing their thing. They're trying to spread out towards E and stuff and create this nice little like big spready blanket, I guess. But we're just trying to keep the field moving everything up and the speed going. One of the big issues with this deck is that if you're not really in the position to be able to properly lay down smoke, you can kind of be caught out quite easily. And while the AMPVs are significantly tough when microed quite well, you can get caught out and they just die instantly if you're not too careful, particularly the heavy armor. And we can kind of see over here, it's like I'm not really expecting the layout of this map, and I expose my AMPV on both that one right there. I expose it to some GRU with their anti-tank stuff. I do end up killing him with the other AMPV, and a bit of miss micro there, and the Delta Force could have dealt with that. But it's fine. Could have definitely survived, but it's all good. Hopping out the Delta Force to hop into that building just to finish off those dudes before they run away, and then getting them back in. But yeah, here we go. We've got a fairly solid opener. Support coming from the teammate to kind of push on to this point. We deal with the snipers, we kind of deal with all the stuff here. Doing my best to pull the Moors and Raws teams back as they're kind of in a bit of a rough position now. We've got a Bradley providing some Overwatch cover from the top. Or misclick with the smoke there as I tried popping the smoke on the Shorad. There you go, there's a bit of the coastal stuff. I'm keen to see if coastal remains with the big changes to how cruise missiles work. Moving the not really the best micro for Bradley there as I'm kind of pulling up, and right now we're kind of seeing the issue with this deck where you start to run out of steam or you don't have things in the right position. It kind of takes a while to prep everything back up. Could have definitely dropped those Cav Scouts that they previously were, but we're doing alright. We got some Delta Force coming up, some additional Delta Force. The Moors teams are kind of doing their thing. I'm doing my best to run them over to hopefully deal with those tanks over there and just bring up as much Shorad as I can with additional supplies, because it does take quite a while, and if I can pay attention, try and make a note of how long it actually does take to get to this point on highway. Which might be actually something useful I should probably dedicate some time to, which would be like figuring out how long it actually takes to get units to a particular point on the front line, and that might be some useful information to have when calling stuff in. Moors and Raws teams, Moors and the RRC taking an absolute beating there from that tank as I'm not really paying attention. Losing dudes for no real particular reason as my attention is focused elsewhere as I try and micro all this stuff around. Yeah, that's not the best, but it is what it is. Got the Cav Scouts up there, now I'm finally bringing the guys back, and these guys definitely could have been saved if I wasn't too, do they get out? Come on. No, they don't. Rip. Oh well. That's what happens if you don't, pay attention. Yeah, so we're in a little bit of a weird position right now, but thankfully we've got a Delta Force up here, and we've got another AMPV coming for it. We've controlled A, and we've got a little bit of stuff everywhere. Of course, taking a ton of attention from the opponent's artillery, and I think it might have been laser guided. I don't know. You tell me. Tell me if that little red truck on the left right now has laser guide capabilities. Tons of supplies rolling up. Teammates doing a really good job putting a lot of pressure on the right and left side. Let's see if the AMPV can deal with this. This is kind of a thing which I'm still quite learning. Sometimes, yeah, AMPV absolutely tears that. Sometimes, you can kind of have units which will, very easily be able to deal with shit, while other times they'll just die. I think there was a couple of games ago where I had an AMPV, go out to shoot these light infantry vehicles, and they just wrap it apart completely. And there's really nothing we can do. It's wild, sometimes shit just dies. Healing up with Bradley right now, and the snipers are kind of doing their thing, moving stuff around, just trying to be a little bit active, and putting my Delta Force on hold fire as I don't really want to give this position up. Big thing about this is we want to kind of, now looking at this map, Let's see if this works out. I don't think... I was expecting the Delta Forces to pop this thing, but they get absolutely torn apart, which is wicked. Yep, alright, and not the best micro pulling out. Oh, there we go. We've got a tank coming up. Pull the AMPV back. Do a bit of pop, moving the AMPVs around to kind of surround the arena. Pop a smoke to add a bit of cover there for sure. There we go. Tagging for both sides. Oh. Doing my best to turn the angle of it so I get my front facing armor facing those dudes over there. Popping the Delta Force out, pulling the AMPV back to get some smoke, a bit of cover fire. Moore's team, oh, this is the worst thing. I'm still like working on all the micro and stuff, but oh, come on AMPV, you can get out. But there's nothing worse than bloody dropping your dudes out, queuing up a command and telling someone to hop back in, but then both units have the command. And if anyone's got some tips how to properly, like, you know, make that a bit more consistent and stuff, please tell me, because dude, it drives me mad at times. Probably could be popping that smoke on that AMPV right there, just to be able to add a little bit of a clearing from the towards C. Pulling the Morse teams back, Delta Force running back into that forest as we're kind of playing the Weasel game. The whole point on A is to not fully control the point, but just to make them put resources here and play around it and take advantage of the fact that Special Forces rock and Special Forces are fun. Playing a little bit out of position right now as we have this situation where we don't really have the left flank right there covered, and as we can see later on in the match, we do actually control that little forest to the left right there, and it's able to give us a bit more like breathing room, particularly when it comes to recon, which is the biggest thing, honestly. Thankfully, however, we can tell that the opponents don't have recon where my supply dump is, or else they'd be bombing it. But they are, you know, doing the thing that Coastal does, and just chucking a ton of cruise missiles at you the moment you do anything. So yeah, if you want to know how to counter it, well, maybe. I know it gets quite. Oh, there we go. I didn't counter it there. I should just shut up because I'm just talking about arse at this point. But to take a second back, I had a pretty good phase one. We're bringing up 2 more AMPVs. We don't really have a lot of dudes on the field, so we probably should be taking advantage of my extra money right now and just calling a bunch of AMPVs close to the front line, and then once I have the points to bring in the infantry, then silent hawking those in, because it does take a very long time to get stuff to this front line, and like right now I've kind of not really put stuff in the correct position and they're just capturing A, which is a little bit frustrating. Can we actually get the Delta Force in there? No, we don't. Which is, we just let them capture it, which is fine. Probably not fine, but it's all good. Cav Scouts doing their thing? No, unfortunately not. Cav Scouts are pulling back to reinforce, and we got some Delta Force doing their thing. Delta Force running into the GRU, and those, I call them fist boys because they've got a little fist right there. I can't pronounce Russian and I'm not even going to bother. I can barely speak English half the time. Dude, sure ride Hellfires are wicked, absolutely wicked, and I am amazed that they spent so much time running Stingers. This makes such a difference on everything. AMPV's pulling up right now. Probably going to not be... In all honesty, looking at where this is going now, I can't remember what was happening, but I don't think we're going to be able to capture A before the end of this phase, just from the fact that we made that little misplay right there and didn't have a unit in the objective to not make it flip. But taking advantage of this lack of stuff going on and pulling up my Bradley to get a bit close to the Spetsnaz and do their thing. Delta Force just get popped by that tank there, so a bit of mismicro over there. Pulling my shore ride back to pop back under to, you know, refill, repair, all that good stuff. This Delta Force is kind of completely out of position, and I'm really wasting it just kind of, you know, doing its thing back there. But we're in this weird position where we've kind of been caught out. So we've lost tempo. We don't have the dudes up front because a bit of poor micro could have kept those Delta Force alive for sure. We've given this objective to the opponent, and that's just kind of what it is for sure. Just need to accept that and prepare to kind of pivot a little bit until we kind of build a bit of a force to go and push towards A. Because where we are right now, we really don't have the resources or the ability to, you know, quickly and capture that point again. We'll take advantage of just kind of hopefully get this Bradley to do a little bit more stuff. Fortunately it doesn't and it gets popped. Bloody hell, that cannon just pops that stuff. And if that Reaper wasn't there, oh, if it was only a second later, that Reaper would have been dead. We could have been a little bit more of a weasel. Pulling up this Cab Scouts to the left to provide a bit of support to my teammate with another Bradley moving up to do its thing. I would love to hear what we all think about where would be the really good what do you call it? Supply locations to be put in stuff. We're in this, yeah. Where would be ideal places to put supply? I think the only thing you can really do is put it on A itself and it kind of have something ferrying them up. Unfortunately, like, there's really no other place to put them here, and there's a big drive back towards the other objective. So I can only really put them in this tree line here, which is a little bit obvious when you think about it. Calling in some mech engine and some riflemen just to provide a little bit of a buffer on B in case they were to steamroll towards B for some reason, or just turbo rush it. We would have something there to kind of contest a point while everything else comes up. We've got two Moore's teams doing their thing at the back here, which is cool. Got a little bit of reinforcements preparing for the push. It would have been terrific if we did control A, but it's fine that we don't. We do have a sizable lead on both kills as well as objectives. Which is just the thing, right, dude? It's just like if you're taking people's attention, it works wonders. Holy shit.
Roger, we're Oscar Mike.
And yeah, but as we can kind of see just then, we've got this new like adaptive audio thing, which I'm not exactly sure of. It's interesting. I am sure it will grow on me. But it is kind of cool having the music get a little bit more intense. But on rewatch, it's a little bit distracting if you get this big rap of music going on. Sure, doing its things. Probably could be microing those Cav Scouts right there. Just go and pop that. Dude, where did that Hellfire even go? That's just flying off, going for that bloody Bradley. Moving up more, Shorad. Oh, sorry, they're bringing in some tow teams. Tow teams? I don't know, you know what they are. Bringing up my Delta Force. Just preparing to do the thing. They control A, and that is fine. But we're kind of keeping their attention here. Probably could be requesting or at least lazing onto those forests there, because without a doubt, the opponent does have some recon up in that forest line to the right of A. A lot of good teamwork going on right now. The striker Giga Chad is just charging into the backline of the right, and they're having a very bad time for sure. Dude. Bringing up my smokers to prepare for the push onto A to kind of capture that and get into all the fun micro over there. And yeah, kind of like fairly chill at this point. Doing my best to keep everything moving, get everything in position, everything hidden so we can kind of do what we need to do. Moving up Bradley to a better position to like take advantage of that extra optics and keeping them in stealth. Sorry, keeping them on hold fire not to break stealth. What am I doing here? This is a miss ping. Really, looking at this map, like there's like not a lot of point putting stuff on the left side of it for sure, because like there's nothing you can really hit. Sure, you can kind of move over the top of that ridge right there and pivot towards D and whatnot, but you can't really do anything. It's a bit like a waste of time to be putting units up there for sure. I don't know what I was really expecting. I probably should have been paying a bit more attention to what was going on in the map, because we're doing quite well right now. Popping this, am I going to pop the scouts back in the Bradley? No? We're just moving. We're moving stuff around. A little bit of flashes running onto A to kind of do their thing. I more than likely could be pushing my stuff up now without the support of smoke, but really, just from experience playing this deck, we'll just have a repeat of last time where if a micro isn't really keen, we'll just be wrapped by stuff from far away, and we just need that smoke to kind of increase the survivability of our units on the field. So, huge Giga push coming onto the left side over here. Who's that? Commander Neil is doing a great job microing everything and kind of spreading his units around D and F. Bourbon and Dark Age are doing an absolutely excellent effort on E and G, building a really strong front line and pushing it a bit forward. Come on, Shorad, you can do it. Oh, one pop and it's just being torn, but we do get it in the end. Tolpan at the back, hopefully someone can kind of do something with that, for sure. Big tank brawls going on the left side. But I'm actually keen to hear what all you guys have to think about the new patch, for sure. Like it's definitely, I'm finding it a lot better. It's a lot more fun, and yeah. Oh, here we come, cruisers. What's gonna happen? Miss. Yeah, they're expecting units to be there, which I don't blame them. You know, that's where I'd be hiding them if I was on the objective. Taking my time right now to kind of do everything that we need to do, get stuff into position. We control the objective right now, but probably could be moving the stuff up, but I don't really want to be doing that just yet. But, you know, we've got the smokes doing their thing. Oh, did I misclick? But yeah, using the smoke order to kind of create a little bit of a smoke screen on the map, which is you know, definitely quite good. Charging the AMPVs to do their thing, moving the Shorad up to provide a bit of air cover. Hopefully trying to yeet my stuff up as quickly as possible to get onto that objective before they do cap it. I think we do, come on! Oh, we missed it, that's alright, but we do pause it. Perfect timing for smoke as we got our the strikers and my units pulling up to be a little bit of a cheeky dudes. Shorad doing its things, easily pop that smoke. Moving up the AMPVs with the Delta Force and the Wars to deal with any of the big old tank threats and vehicle threats coming in. Doing my best to keep the spare AMPVs of units in the backline, just waiting to kind of go. Don't really need them to. We just kind of need them close enough where they'll be able to provide fire support and stuff. Being close enough to the field where they can provide supply support or sub in case we kind of need some additional assistance. But yeah, damn, that AMPVs wasn't good. Just immediately immobilized from some crits, which kind of sucks. No point really moving those Delta Force in there, as we can kind of get the AMPV up a bit more forward. Force team's doing their thing, dropping the Delta Force up to go and attack that. Popping smoke to add a bit of cover so we don't get caught out in the crossfire of all those between that tank and all the additional support elements. Burying my my Moors team with the RRC outside of the ferrying those guys out of the fight to go and get to the back line to restock, because they're kind of, at this point, they're the most important unit doing their thing. Delta Force is moving over to combine a bit of covering fire against that SSO unit, and we've got this nice, like, what do you call it? Oh, I can only think of the Warhammer term. But popping some more smoke to kind of add some nice covering fire onto the objective. Completely misclick for sure. What's this? Yeah, I think I'm queuing up all the things, but I'm queuing up everything, but I'm tabbing too much, and they're not actually properly activating, or I'm trying to get them to do the attack while they're out of range. You don't need to do that, dude. Come on, pull those Delta Force back. Keep them moving. They're just running right out in the open. And I smoke and block that guy's shooting. Pulling up the additional Delta Force while the other Delta Force moves into retreat. Big old airstrike coming on the left side of it, which does chew up a bit of stuff. Oh, the explosions are so good in this game when you got everything turned up. It's awesome. Okay, what are we doing now? Yeah, pulling back these AMPVs to supply them up, cycling some units out, moving some more Morse teams in. Got quite a bit of points right now, so I'm going to try and do something with this F-35. Really, this is a bit of a waste, and I kind of mess up the timing for this for sure. I probably could be using this F-35 to bomb a front line, but it's fine. To quietly comment about the shortly comment about the air tab. So we have lost the ability to have an additional F-35. I've been trialing a couple of different options. So one of them of course is bringing up a Nighthawk, which isn't bad. I've got it equipped for the cruise missiles, just to kind of have a little bit of like point here, click and die button. But I'm contemplating switching that out for an F-22 with Stormbreakers, just for having an option to have a little bit of an air rollout, as well as an option to have an air rollout, as well as like be able to point and click and kill a bunch of infantry at a building, or do some backline harassment, which is always kind of a benefit of running special forces. And the additional speed and turning ability from the F-22 probably be really, really good. Big pops going on over here. Everything's kind of caught out of position. AMPV's moving up. Complete misclick with my oh damn, and there we go again. I have not correctly I've microed my stuff off the objective, just letting him go and capture it again. So all that effort is for kind of nothing, but it's fine. Pulling my smokies back. Am I trying to pull them back? I don't know. What exactly am I doing here? I think I'm getting shot for sure. Yeah, I think that might have been a misclick when it comes to the smokers, just because I initially did queue up the auto to get them to be popping on A to kind of block off that approach, so they couldn't really shoot my guys. But I think I might have, in the process of highlighting a bunch of stuff and calling it back, we've been caught out, and now they've been able to do a bit of damage to my AMPV, and that now AMPV is quite weak and not really in the best position. Doing my best to kind of bring in a bunch more units, which is kind of, this is like, I guess something I said before, when it comes to, if you have the AMPVs on site, because they take so long, it'd be better to have them waiting in your reserve line, and then just ferry out the troops when you need them, because it doesn't take super long for a Delta Force to kind of do its thing. And that's a bizarre attack move. Like, I told it to attack move towards that GRU, and instead of like charging down, it decided to pull out of the forest, go into the road, and then turn to shoot. Like, it works out in the end, but come on. Yeah, move the AMPV up. Just try and get into the objective to do a little bit of something. Teammates doing absolute wonders with their Patriots to knock down those cruise missiles coming in. Kind of hitting the extent of my cap when it comes to actually microing all this stuff, because there's a ton of things going on right now, and it is like, not necessarily, it's difficult for sure. Give it AMPV close, probably a bad idea, because you can get top attack if you're not too careful when you're moving your vehicles too close to buildings, so that might be the reason why my AMPVs are dying so much. Tons of Bradleys doing what Bradleys do best. Just duking it out in the midfield. Sure, I'm moving up. Sure, moving up. Trying my best to get, to get everything to do its thing, but dude, this is just like brutal. Oh, smoke. Come on, smoke. Jesus. This is hectic. Alright, Delta Force in that AMPV. Get him to hop in there. There's still something on this objective, and it's somewhere, which we'll hopefully be able to find out in a second and start capturing again. Pull it. There we go. Now it's dead. We can kind of capture it. Or they've moved off the objective. But I have a second to breathe, and now we can kind of do a little bit of the, the micro to get everything all good. Controlling that all again, pulling the AMPV back, getting the Shroud on that higher position, because it's a really nice position to be fighting over for sure. Restocking the Moors, doing all that good stuff, taking advantage of this little lull in the combat to restock my M16s, I don't know, M10s something, I don't know, smoke boys. Take the opportunity to stock up these smoke boys to then be able to cover A with the fact that, yeah, we've kind of changed the tempo, we've controlled this point again, we have it, and yeah, it's for us to lose again. But, you know, we've got 2 fully stocked smokers, so we can get a nice suppressive fire onto A, which is kind of what we want to keep doing. Probably don't need to be queuing up as much attacks, and I could probably be using this a little bit, probably using it a little bit more, I don't know, how would you say it? A bit more reactively, because we don't want to be really running out of smokes when we need them, so we can kind of... Oh, dude, what are you doing? That was a misclick for sure. Oh, now we're just trying to get a jab strike on that little Panzer. Taking advantage of the F-34. Oh, I've actually... There we go, look at that. I've actually queued up the smoke, so that the moment we want to start... we start getting pushed on, we can pop it off there. Which is cool. Which I've actually unqueued it now. Get a nice little coverage going on. Looking for something to use my Nighthawk on. You know, kind of a little bit of a waste. Let's see how we go there. If it gets in there, it's probably a little bit too deep. That AMPV has got its head way too much. Could be using those supplies to the right there, but I'm taking advantage of this massive lull in fighting to bring the supplies a little bit closer to the front line. Pulling these 2 back to restock them. Smoke doing the thing. Yeah, kind of in a solid position. This deck does require a lot of micro, but dude, it's so much fun. And it's weird in a way, which I've noticed, like, because everything's so expensive and you have these weird moments when your tempo's broken and it takes a while to kind of restock everything and get back to that point. But when you kind of have everything on the field, you've got your backup AMPVs, you've got all your units ready to go, you just start to naturally float an absolute metric ton of points, which you can use to call in additional things in case you need it, you know? Ah, here we go, that's a misclick. Bloody, I swear those AMPVs are on the objective, which is frustrating. Come on, you can do it. There we go. I'm like, ah, shit. Little bit of misclick there. Kind of annoying because we put all that effort in. But it's all good. Just do what we need to do, smoke it all up and move everything up, like we always do. It just works. Now, I'm not sure why this guy disconnected. Ugh. Yeah, I don't know why this guy kind of disconnected, but it does mean we've got a couple of extra things to kind of, you know, deal with. Bit of a misplay when it comes to that AMPV not sending, sorry, with the Morse tube not sending it towards that tank, but I think my idea was to, you know, that newfound set 3 that I've just managed to get, to bring it up closer to, you know, to get that to go and deal with the tank while these guys go and deal with this turbo swarm coming to the right here. Total force being weasels right there. Getting nice and close and then popping my smoke to cover my butt from those tow teams. Moore's team's doing the Moore's thing. Popping this tank. Support's coming from a teammate to help with the other stuff on that little push on the left right there. Sep done its Sep thing, and everything kind of pulls back. Honestly, a very strong phase 2. We're dominating. We've controlled A. We're taking all this. It's this weird thing when you kind of control A on this map. you can apply a ton of pressure to the other two objectives, and like, you know, it's. I think it's just like maybe a bit of mistiming for the Russian team as well, by the fact that they did this Giga push a little bit too late, because if they would have been able to push through and capture all these objectives at the end of phase, that would have been a lot better, where it's kind of now. Where like you've done it all and nothing's kind of happened. Whoa. Was that desync? Thankfully capture that, you know, I finally noticed that AMPV doing, about to get popped. We're taking a moment. Yeah, there you go. This is a cruise missile hanging in the air. Don't know if that's desync or not. Popping the smokes. Waiting for these boys to move up. Oh, unfortunately. Misclicking with those Delta Force, and we've got some weak boys over there, not actually a full strong unit. But hopefully, we can, you know, take advantage. Now we're out of ammo. Hopefully that tank there can provide a bit of covering fire and support to be able to deal with the units in that building, which it thankfully does. I think at some point I would love, like, the changes to how the tank shells work is so good, and they just pop things so easily. And I absolutely would love to start running tanks more in this loadout. It's just sometimes with a micro, it's a bit too risky to be floating a 400 point unit that could just be popped in a second if I'm not too careful. Yeah, doing a bit of a refresh. Delta Force, you got to be repaired. No, I've done it again. I think that Delta Force is actually all equipped and shit, but it's not. That's rough. Ah, it's all good. Bearing some more supplies a bit closer to the front line. Somehow, Click managed to get those guys back into the AMPV before before they all just immediately die and get popped completely, but tank's in a nice little position to provide a bit of covering fire. Delta Force moving up. Unfortunately, don't have to smoke, and we are at risk of being popped from that massive, that nice clearing coming from C, but, you know, it is what it is. Delta Force being reinforced, moving his Morse teams back to get him out of the action as there's no AMPV. Oh, there you go. Do you survive? Come on, Delta Force, you can do it. Now, AMPV dies, but the Delta Force does survive. Moving the Sora back, more supplies coming up. Losing my attention off be set free, but thankfully I'm close enough to those cornets that we're not actually wrapped by them in a second. Smoke's doing the thing, calling up more AMPVs. Only one of them, probably could bring an extra one just in case. What do we need at this point? I was thinking about bringing some DAP steel, some helis, but they're really not taking advantage of helis that much. Surprisingly, you know? Which is weird, now that I've distinctly... I can feel the difference between playing at, say, like 800 elo, or like 600, 800, and then as you get towards 1k. Because, like, you don't really see people do, like, spam strats as much. I am very surprised how this SEP is still alive, for sure. Moving the AMPV up onto little weasel position. Finally got some fresh Delta Force that aren't injured. They're doing the thing. Yep. Doing a lot of moving everything up. Everything kind of doing its thing. T-15 on the left right there. Popping up the Sentinel, which might be a little bit too close, to be honest. I didn't really figure that range out, so we could probably get called out right there, but, you know, it's all good. Yeah, I don't know why he deserted. We're doing great. 7.5 minutes on the clock. Yeah, we're doing a YOLO run. Pulling a Saving Private Ryan on that AMPV. Get back in the fight, soldier. Pop a smoke to avoid those shots. Unfortunately, the active protection does go off, but the smoke comes in just in time to do a little bit of a weasel away. Pulling of a crew strike with the Nighthawk just to kind of do with a little bit of the dudes on that side. Ooh. Oh, there's a smoke. Oh my god, I got scared for a second. Once again, moving my aim, my anti-tank anti-vehicle unit over towards where the actual infantry is. Which is never the best. Doing a little backline maintenance over here as we kind of move everything up. Those guys are dead. Shorad's doing its thing. Unfortunately, is this going to be enough or pop them out? We see the tanks. Big tanks going on. Probably could be microing this and pulling up that additional unit as we're getting completely swarmed right here. Do they get out? Come on. Yeah, we do. We do get out. The AMPV is running away. Where's my F-35 going? F-35's kind of just chilling, doing its thing. We've now gobbled up those boys. We're pulling them back to do a bit of a repair. Floating the F-35. Pulling everything back. Dropping some bombs. There's a little bit of a waste. We're probably not. They're going to be moving, doing all that good stuff. Move it over here. Do we actually get it, or are we too late? We are too late, unfortunately. Yeah, but do we just return you to base? Probably. Nah, we try and do our best though. We got a Morse team there. We really don't need the unit to do its thing. Locking in right now for sure, and doing all the good stuff, and actually like doing actual clear-cut micro for once instead of like just completely dropping the ball. One pop from those Moors. AMPV kills the other one. Morse team pops that, and we're back in. Grad attack? I don't know. Big shooting going on for sure though. Yeah, overall, pretty good match so far. We've got a really strong lead. We more or less have won the game at this point. There's not much chance for us leaving, so we're kind of focusing on calling in units that would be useful for the final stage of the game. Got plenty of points to potentially bring in some additional air support. That cruise missile completely misses those AMPVs, which is kind of wild. Honestly, maybe a better play at that point would have been to micro the units outside of the forest and then hop in. Pop and smoke to break line aside and pull the unit back. Still getting a good hang of all the sight lines for this map. We're pulling everything up just in case we need it for the final push. Delta Force not really going to be able to do much with that tank right there, but... And it seems like that little brush on the side is quite nice to be able to stage stuff. Yeah, they're doing fairly good game, and I hope this kind of shows how this deck really functions when everything's kind of working. I'm tempted to kind of mix up the loadouts on the smokers to be able to mix up the loadout on the smokers to have a bit more smoke, as it would reduce the amount of time that I'm having to resupply them and stuff, which would be quite nice. And now I'm thinking, you know, we've got those recon up on that hill right there, or at least I'm guessing there's recon. I could be using the mortars to deal with them. That would have been wicked. And I just realized that now, like, oh, I could have been using the mortars for that. I was too busy focusing on everything else. Yeah, final 3 minutes, just focusing on staging everything for a final push if it does come. Really strong game with everyone of the team. Great coordination from the Giga Chad who went left to go and do all that type of stuff. And yeah, I think we might be back. We might be so back with this with Broken Arrow, because it feels so much fun at the moment, and the patch changes are excellent. Like, oh dude, it's so good. It's a breath of fresh air. Or I'm just biased because I'm finally out of Elo Hell and I'm getting towards more of that mid zone. Unfortunately for you guys, I might still be playing Special Forces for a while, but I am committed to try a new deck soon enough. Like, kind of baited and switched to you guys where I'm like, oh, new deck coming up, and it's just more armored special forces. It's just too fun. I just love it too much. And this deck is super effective, particularly on this map. I will have to build another one. I might try something else for just like that's a bit more foresty based, or even so yeah, something a bit best designed for more forest maps, or even yeah, just a more general deck where I don't really need to have this intensity of micro, because if you don't have a good position, you don't have a good area to fight on, you're kind of caught out, and you kind of eat it pretty well. Oh, do those Moors team survive? Do we kill it? Yeah, we do, thankfully. Oh. Yeah, we survive. Oh, we actually think we might have died then. That's fine. But, you know, that happens when you're not paying attention and you don't cycle stuff. Yeah, wicked game. So much fun, for sure. Keen to hear what all your experiences are with the new patch and all that good stuff. I don't think I'll play Russia at this point. I just enjoy playing the US too much. It's just the familiarity of everything. And yeah, kind of rushing to do this match review at the last minute as time kind of caught up on me, and I'm hoping to get it out today. Big bomb coming in, which doesn't do anything. It just damages those tanks and wounds my Delta Force a little bit, which is, yeah. It's rough. I don't... More I think about it, I think that guy might have dropped from like server issues or something, or like just wasn't working, because we were even strong when he dropped. And here we are, kind of just, you know, doing our thing. And we just won in such a strong game, you know. 4v5 for the most part. I don't think that guy was even doing much. He was the guy who brought up a bunch of like Reapers and shit. But he probably was doing a lot on left, helping out the guy there. And that is game. Very, very happy. Having a lot of fun. Pretty hectic KD for sure. You know, 2.6, and I'm the person with nearly... No, I don't have the lowest elo here. 7, 8, 3, 5 versus 3, 8. That's alright. What is that? What type of medal is that? Mentor. Okay. But we did manage to do that against people who kind of had a higher elo, more or less. Got some nice kills going on here. There you go. Look, some of the Delta Force. Dude, those GRU are 145 points. That Shora did great. F-35. Look at that Sep. Getting some nice kill. Doesn't really trade up, but we didn't, you know, lose points. Nighthawk didn't really do a lot at that moment, but I think it's more just for shock and awe, you know. Probably won't do well every time, but yeah, I reckon I will switch it up for the F-35 though. Kind of F-35 of Stormbreakers might be good. little bit of backline harassment and all that good jazz. Yeah, overall, had a lot of fun. Good map, good team, good deck. Patch 10, what is it? Point 10 is wicked and so much fun, and you should do it. Thinking back to some of the things we could have probably done better in that match, or like, you know, some good things. Good things would be, I don't know, good micro. The micro, I was doing quite well on the micro. The smokes, like constantly kind of having that nice flurry of smokes on the objective, you know, was able to help us cover things a lot more and be able to keep all our units alive. Probably could have brought up a pack to assist my teammate with the AA, but that's fine. I'm a bit cautious to using the pack free unless we need it, just because I don't want to get it seeded, because it's 300 and something points and it's quite a, you know, expensive unit, and I don't really think I have the attention to be able to put the attention on it. We got the tank. Tank was good. Would love to, you know, use some tanks a bit more, but just having fun doing the AMPV stuff. Some good placements of a Sentinel for sure. Probably could have done a little bit better airstrikes, but it's fine. We're still kind of in that phase of like, it was quite hectic, and I was, you know, pretty much busy the whole match, and there wasn't really a lull. Definitely a big mistake was not ensuring I'm cycling units out to refill them, because at a couple of points I really got away. I got lucky by like having you know, it was like I had a Delta Force that was at half health and a Delta Force that was nearly dead and didn't have any of its flashes. I also had the at the end just then with the AMPV. We didn't have the Moors team of the ROC weren't cycled out, and you know, refreshed with you know, more supplies and all that good stuff, even though I had the units there. So maybe being a bit more active and actively pulling stuff in and out, because the moment that stuff dies, like we lose the points, it's complete waste. It takes such a while to, you know, pull it back. So we probably need to be a bit more proactive when we are cycling stuff. Yeah, because even if I do have the unit there to replace it, it'd be better to kind of pull stuff in and out and I'm not losing it, because there is a cooldown and all that stuff. Yeah, overall, really fun game. Had a good time. I hope you guys enjoy this match review. Got many more coming in the future, and I feel kind of quite invigorated with this game again. I was getting a bit doomer towards the end, but the game is a lot better for sure. But it does kind of feel weird when games will just kind of end at the like in phase 2 from a surrender because you had a really strong phase 2. That is a little bit, you know, weird, and it'll be. I don't think we'll ever be seeing sudden deaths anymore because people will just surrender instead of having a sudden death, unless the team is, you know, their psyches aren't. The psyches are super strong and they can kind of like, nah, we'll push back and win. Saying that, happy to have you all here. Thanks for the watch. Leave a like and comment, all that good stuff if you're interested. Otherwise, I will catch you for the new one. Thanks all.